Hi everyone, here's some of us heading your way tonight. Your news at 9.
Kansas Governor Kelly signs a $100 million relief bill related to utility bills. I'm Zach Dodge with how it could impact cities like Humboldt that are facing historically high gas bills. Coming up.
Plus, an area hospital offering a walk-in COVID-19 vaccine clinic.
Capitol Police want the National Guard to remain in Washington for 2 more months. I'm Ray Bogan with a look at that, plus some of the security measures that could become permanent, coming up.
Doug Ketty has weather. Jacob Leonard has sports. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Abbey. The Pittsburgh Police Department releasing new details about a suspicious device that was found yesterday near Pitt State. Pitt State Police yesterday found the device on the 1500 block of Joplin Street, and later Kansas State Highway Patrol's hazardous device unit left with the device. Well, today they say they were able to dismantle it and found it contained a small amount of incendiary components. Pieces of the device have been sent off to a lab for look at further evidence. State of Kansas takes action to help cities and residents facing historically high utility bills. We told you about the high utility bills over in Altamont, Kansas because of February's winter weather. Residents in Humboldt facing the same situation. KOAM's Zach Dodge spoke with officials in Humboldt about the situation and how a new loan program in the state might provide a workable solution.
Typically, we get billed about $35,000 a month. We've been advised that the estimate for February's cost will be $1.6 million.
It sounds like something you'd hear in a movie or some other work of fiction. But for the city of Humboldt, the situation is all too real.
Have you ever seen a bill in your time here that's been that high, especially
never.
for 1 month?
Never. Maybe 40 or 50,000.
When the polar vortex hit the Midwest in February, the price for natural gas skyrocketed. Humboldt City Administrator Cole Herder explains their price per unit is usually around $3. They saw prices go as high as $622 per unit.
The gas we buy is traded on an index, a daily index. So we believe that there were people profiting on the trading of the gas that never had any contact with the gas.
The Federal Energy Regulatory Commission has started an investigation to see if there was market manipulation, but in the short term, cities like Humboldt are still facing bills that are multitudes higher than they can afford.
One family that I looked up a bill, and their bill is typically around under $200. Their bill for this month would have been $5,400.
But there may be some relief. On Wednesday, Governor Kelly signed legislation to create a $100 million low-interest loan program where cities could get a loan from the state for what they owe on utilities and pay that back over a 10-year period. Herder says at this point it may be their only option.
I can't pay my $1.6 million bill when I only have $250,000 in reserve. I would be in violation of the law. So this legislation allows us to be legal and have a loan long enough to help us recover.
In Humboldt, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
Herder says the City Council will have to approve applying for the loan, and he's going to recommend it. He hopes eventually there's going to be some form of federal relief. City of Purcell, Missouri today hosted a meeting to discuss its financial situation, and it's bad. The city is out of money. Because of that, they had to let all of their workers go, and they haven't been able to make necessary repairs to the city's sewage plant and water tower. Also, the mayor pro tem says a previous council member, this is according to the mayor pro tem, a previous council member may have tampered with important information at town hall. The state of Missouri is auditing the city because of all of the issues. Residents say they don't feel like things are moving in the right direction.
Until we have a board that says this is what we're doing, this is our agenda, and lays it out. Right now, there's no physical evidence that proves we're moving forward. There's no momentum. It's more of, well, I said I'm doing it, and that's all you need to know at the moment.
Missouri American Water was at the meeting requesting a ballot measure so residents can vote for MAW to make those repairs that are needed. Doug Ketty joining us now with our first look at the forecast. Another gorgeous day. I mean, it was so neat. Everyone was outside, just taking walks, doing whatever they could to just soak up the weather.
Yeah, it was super nice as temperatures have been kind of slowly warming throughout the week. A chilly start, 36, but 71 for a high, well above our average high of 56 degrees. Still, temperatures not that bad. Most of us mid to upper 50s to near 60 degrees. And we had south winds all day, but now they've kind of switched off toward the east. And they're going to increase a little bit later on tonight and then into the daytime hours tomorrow. Clouds have been increasing. Even some light showers have been increasing. Most of this is not hitting the ground as of yet, but we'll start to see some light showers trying to work in a little bit later on tonight and then into the morning hours for us tomorrow. But at least for the next several hours, mainly dry. Of course, we're going to break this down to your month-long forecast all coming up here in just a bit.
Doug, thank you. Joplin's Mercy Hospital is offering a first dose of COVID-19 vaccine to qualified Missouri residents through a walk-in clinic. Now, those qualified people include people who are ages 65 and older, any adult with underlying health conditions, healthcare workers, first responders, and other emergency personnel. The clinics are being offered through Saturday, but it is on a first-come, first-served basis. 131 doses were already given out this morning.
So this particular week, we find ourselves in a situation where we received more vaccine than we were anticipating. So we have an excess, and we are trying to be good stewards of that vaccine and get that vaccine to people that need it.
There are also going to be clinics tomorrow and Saturday from 8 in the morning to 6 at night. Joplin School District is still requiring students and staff wear masks in the educational setting. This despite the City of Joplin's mask mandate expiring. The school district says their goal is to keep schools open and allow all students to attend school daily. The Jasper County Health Department reports 6 new coronavirus-related deaths. Officials say the patients were 4 men, 1 in his 90s, 3 in their 70s, also 2 women, 1 in her 40s and 1 in her 70s. These deaths bring the county's total to 149. CDC will soon be releasing guidance on what people can safely do once vaccinated. But for now, public health officials say mask wearing and social distancing is still key to stopping the spread despite some new state mandates. Fox News correspondent Jonathan Seary has more.
Large chains, including Target, Starbucks, and CVS, say they're still requiring masks, even as some states roll back mandates. This week, governors in Texas and Mississippi announced they're lifting mask requirements. More than a dozen other states have no statewide mandate. Public health officials say mask wearing is still key to stopping the spread until more people are vaccinated.
We know that whenever people are indoors with poor ventilation, without masks on, in close quarters, there is increased, very high risk of transmission.
The CDC has delayed releasing guidance for what fully vaccinated Americans can safely do. Earlier this week, a federal official told Fox News the guidelines will likely allow for small family gatherings if everyone is vaccinated. The agency is not expected to roll back health measures such as mask wearing in public or social distancing.
Small gatherings with 2 people who are fully vaccinated is fine. But what about people who are vaccinated that go out into the community? Where can they go safely?
Meanwhile, thousands of Johnson & Johnson doses continue to arrive at distribution centers across the country. Beginning tomorrow, New York State will open 3 short-term mass vaccination sites to distribute the new vaccine.
Here is the first vaccine to require only 1 dose to be effective, 1 and done. This is going to revolutionize our approach to getting people vaccinated.
The CDC is asking states to prioritize persons with disabilities as they expand vaccine access. In Atlanta, Jonathan Seary, Fox News.
There is stepped-up security around the U.S. Capitol today after law enforcement officials picked up some concerning chatter about a potential plot tied to March 4th. It's the day that presidents used to be inaugurated in years past. Fox News correspondent Ray Bogan has the latest.
Increased security can be seen all around the Capitol complex as police and the National Guard are prepared for a specific threat March 4th through the 6th. The House finished its business for the week Wednesday night, partially due to security concerns. The Senate remains in session to work on the coronavirus relief package.
I'm confident the security is adequate to make sure we can get our work done.
The immediate increased security posture comes as law enforcement and Congress make plans for the future. Fox News has exclusively obtained a draft copy of the U.S. Capitol security recommendations. It calls for a quick reaction force available 24/7, 365, hiring 884 more officers and personnel for the Capitol Police, and an integrated and retractable fencing system. The U.S. Capitol Police are also asking the National Guard to stay for 2 more months, but with fewer troops.
We have to have what we need when we need it and in the numbers that we need it.
Fox News also obtained a report from FBI's Norfolk field office that was sent out the day before the January 6th riot. The report mentions calls for violence, but not the possibility of a breach of the building. FBI Director Christopher Wray testified Tuesday the information was sent out within an hour of receiving it.
It was, as you noted, raw, unverified, uncorroborated information that had been posted online.
Because the information was unverified, law enforcement was instructed if they wanted to act on it, they had to coordinate with the FBI. In Washington, Ray Bogan, Fox News.
KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time now to honor one of our 4 state heroes. James Peake served in the U.S. Army from 1954 to 56, stationed over in Germany. We are proud to thank and salute Corporal James Peake, a native of Girard, Kansas. He's tonight's 4 state hero. Doug Eddy's up next with a complete look at the forecast, and a bit later, Pitt State softball team preparing for its first home game in nearly 2 years. Going to have that story, of course, in sports.
Well, it's turned out to be another fantastic day for us today. Temperatures great once again. All week long, we've been in the 60s, if not 70s, for afternoon highs. So pretty good. We're going to continue to have overall nice temperatures, even though we are going to cool down just a bit as we work into the daytime hours tomorrow. Great shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course. Indigo just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Temperature is still not bad. Most of us are about 56, 57, nearly 60 degrees, 61 in Neosho, and our temperatures will slowly drop back as we go through the rest of the overnight hours. Look at the winds. They were out of the south. Now they're shifting out of the east ahead of our next storm system. They're also going to pick up a little bit as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Clouds have been increasing. Rain has been increasing. You can see rain popping up on the radar. Now, most of this, at least on the leading edge, is not reaching the ground. You have to head out toward the west. Wichita, Oklahoma City, that's where they are getting these light showers. But here's our storm system. It's a cutoff low, meaning it's cut off from the main flow of the jet, which is way up there in Canada. So it doesn't have a lot of energy behind it, so it's a very weak system, and it's not going to give us a lot of rain as it works through over the next 24 hours. Again, you can see the rain increasing southeastern Kansas, northeastern parts of Oklahoma, but most of this is not reaching the ground as of yet. Let's go through time. Cloudy skies for us most of the night. We'll start to get some hit and miss light showers in here late tonight into tomorrow morning. As we go through the morning hours, again, hit and miss random showers. Some of us may not even get a sprinkle. So these are going to be very light, just random showers into the early afternoon, and then most of these will sink out of here by the time we head into the evening hours. May even get a little bit of sunshine late in the day. 46 to start, 50 by noon. High temp at 54. We're going to have northerly winds at about 10 to 20. So it's going to be a much cooler day on Friday. We start to clear out as we head into tomorrow night. Temperatures kind of a little bit cooler. We drop back into lower 30s. And then Saturday looks great. High temps near 60, but we're going to have plenty of sunshine across the region, which, hey, we'll definitely take. All right, rainfall with this system, it's not going to be much at all. I think most areas, a couple tenths of an inch. Or a couple hundredths of an inch, maybe upwards to a tenth of an inch. So very light amounts of rain as this system rolls through. Cooler tomorrow, 54 again, hit and miss showers. We clear out. The weekend's going to be great. High temps right around 60. 63 on Monday, 67 on Tuesday, and then you can see our next storm system, which starts to roll in. So this will start with clouds on Tuesday. Very slight chance that we could see a shower, but better chances for rain, especially late Wednesday, and then showers, even some thunderstorms by Thursday. Some of those could be strong, maybe even severe. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that as we go through the next week. Of course, in our second half hour, we're going to take a look at the month-long forecast.
So maybe just a light coat tomorrow, but not a winter jacket.
No, not at all. We're pretty much done with those.
Thank goodness. We'll see you in a little bit. Thanks so much, Doug. Coming up, some new setbacks for a new stimulus.
Senators doing all they can to voice their support and their opposition to the next COVID-19 relief bill. I'm Lauren Blanchard in Washington with where the legislation stands now, coming up.
Join us on the...
Democrats are moving ahead in the Senate on the next coronavirus relief bill, but one senator in particular is threatening to slow the whole entire process down and force senators into some long days and nights at work. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard is over in D.C. now with more.
The vice president votes in the affirmative.
Vice President Kamala Harris had to break a tie to move the American Rescue Plan forward as Democrats push President Biden's plan closer to a vote.
The time is now to move forward with big, bold, strong relief. It is time to tell the American people that help is on the way.
Still, there are strong disagreements over the size and priorities of this sixth COVID relief bill.
The real tragedy here is not Senate process. It's how ill-suited this bill is to what Americans need right now.
So the GOP will try to add their own priorities as amendments.
How can you craft effective amendments on a bill that you haven't even seen or haven't been given time to read?
Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson is forcing all 628 pages of the Senate amendment that replaces the House version of the bill to be read in full on the floor. This is before the 20-hour clock ever begins for debate on the bill.
The $1.9 trillion plan has good objectives, but it's massively misdirected. Senator Johnson wants to make sure that the people understand that.
Democrats say Republicans may try to push the vote as long as possible, even through the weekend.
We'll be here however long it takes to get it done.
However, Democrats believe their caucus is united enough on the bill to eventually send it to the president.
We all know this will merely delay the inevitable. It will accomplish little more than a few sore throats for the Senate clerks.
Whatever bill the Senate agrees on must go back to the narrowly divided House for another vote before it reaches President Biden's desk. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Just ahead, going to look at the possible effects of the COVID-19 vaccine on breast milk. An Oregon researcher is using his own wife and newborn child to study how being vaccinated for COVID-19 impacts a mother's breast milk. Fox's Marilyn Deutsch has the story.
For years, we have heard about the benefits of breast milk, but scientists at Providence wanted to know, could the COVID-19 vaccine given to lactating moms protect their babies from the virus?
He turned 3 months last week.
Dr. Jason Baird's son, Eli, not only makes his new dad proud, Eli is also part of his dad's research. Dad's an immunologist and is part of a Providence research team looking at breast milk and COVID-19. His wife is still nursing Eli, and since she herself is a healthcare worker, she recently received the COVID-19 vaccine. So both mother and son became part of Dad's work.
The great thing about collecting breast milk is that it's non-invasive. It's an easy sample to collect, and you get tons of it.
Dr. Baird tested his wife's breast milk along with the breast milk of 6 other women before the women were vaccinated and then after. Before, none of the COVID-19 antibodies were present in the breast milk. After, he saw a clear spike, which means as babies nursed, along with all the other nutrients they were getting from their moms, they were also getting some protection from COVID-19. And Dr. Baird also tells us there's no evidence this passing along of COVID-19 antibodies could hurt nursing babies like Eli.
I don't think it hurts. It's hard to actually say that. I'm an immunologist, so I would love to believe that, and it suggests that he will have protection.
But how long that protection lasts, he doesn't know. This was just a pilot study, and Dr. Baird hopes to do a larger study on nursing moms in COVID-19. Meantime, he's on paternity leave.
He's a fun little guy.
Marilyn Deutsch, Fox 12 Oregon.
Cute little guy, too. All right, going to check out the newest guy on the block, rocking that personal protective equipment. Your news at 9. Hey, man. Back right after this. A golden retriever working as a service dog in Illinois has found a new purpose, now picking up a new job as a research assistant for University of Illinois Chemistry Lab. He's a research assistant there. Samson is his name, and he's the first canine ever to be granted access to the lab. As we're seeing there, he gets decked out in PPE every morning while assisting his owner, Joey Ramp, who relies on Samson to help her around the lab. Now, his protective gear includes all the same stuff as human colleagues have to wear. While his owner knows he looks pretty cool, pretty great in all that PPE, pretty cute. She also says she wants people to know about the essential role that service dogs have. And that's awesome, by the way. I love those goggles. Dogs know when they have an important job, right? All right, 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming your way.
Health experts say that in some cases, the COVID-19 vaccine is causing swollen lymph nodes and misleading women into thinking they may have breast cancer. You'll hear what the experts at Freeman Hospital say about the situation coming up.
Plus, data from the Better Business Bureau showing a big jump in reported scams last year. In some cases, COVID-19 vaccines are causing lymph nodes to swell and misleading some women into thinking they may have breast cancer. Well, the experts at Joplin's Freeman Hospital have countered this and have some advice. KOAM's Mike Mahoney went to Freeman's Wes and Jan Hauser Women's Pavilion to learn more.
Health experts across the country say a small amount of recipients of the COVID-19 vaccine are experiencing swollen lymph nodes.
We've just seen a few cases, and we've been aware of this. It came to our attention that the vaccine was causing these kind of problems.
The team at Freeman Hospital's Wes and Jan Hauser Women's Pavilion knows that swollen lymph nodes can be a breast cancer indicator. And that's why they are asking women who come to them for mammograms and checkups to let them know if they've received a shot of COVID-19 vaccine.
It's documented onto a history sheet that we put out on every patient, and that way Dr. Cito, our radiologist, then could go back to our history sheet and see that if they've had a vaccine, and that gives her a tip-off that that's what's causing this.
The Society of Breast Imaging recommends women schedule routine breast screenings either before getting their COVID-19 vaccine or 4 to 6 weeks after getting their second shot. But the team at Freeman says as long as you inform them that you have received your vaccine, there shouldn't be a problem. Dr. Alan Buckley, the director of the Women's Pavilion, says, quote, "The main thing is we don't want women to miss their screenings again this year since so many missed last year." And his team wants to assure cancer survivors that just because the vaccine is causing swelling in some cases doesn't mean their concerns will be dismissed.
A patient that already has cancer and maybe has some swollen lymph nodes, sure, we're going to investigate that a little bit more because they've already had an issue. So we don't want to just make light of that and assume that it's a COVID vaccination that has caused it.
In Joplin, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
Now, for the latest information on vaccine resources, head over to our website. See it right there, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, the Better Business Bureau reports a nearly 25% increase in reported scams last year compared to 2019. The BBB Scam Tracker accepts reports from businesses and consumers and sorts them into dozens of categories. And officials say more than 46,000 scams were published on the track in 2020, a 24.9% increase from the year before. Pittsburgh High School student will head to Manhattan for a oratorical contest. The contest, hosted by the American Legion, has students perform an academic speaking challenge based around the United States Constitution. Now, last week, PHS student Owen Miller won the district contest, so now he's moving on to state.
I did have competition at districts, so that was a lot of fun. But I kind of automatically won here at Pittsburgh since I was the only person who entered. So not a lot of people at our high school were really aware that this was happening, which to me was kind of disappointing because these people are my friends. The people who would enter would be the people I would really enjoy competing against.
Congratulations, Owen. The national competition was canceled this year, but the prize money was split up and given to states for their contests. That means Owen could get nearly $6,000 if he wins on March 13th. Here's hoping. Again, good luck. Here's a chance for some students to show off their creative critical thinking and engineering skills in a drone competition. Pitt State is hosting a competition that's open to middle, high school, and college students in the area. Students will create drone missions and field elements or obstacles in a 10-foot by 20-foot netted drone area.
In the fall, we did a dragster race. We decided to go from the road and the ground to the air, and the next 50 years we think are going to be focused on things like drone technology. And so we want for students to start getting more and more access to that. And so
registration is open through March 17th, but heads up, it's going to be capped at 32 teams. Registration is free, however. You can find a link to register on our website. Again, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. A bit later, a new sports debate.
Should trans women be allowed to compete in women's sports? I'm Ashley Strohmeyer with a look at states asking that question straight ahead.
Well, definitely it turned out to be a great day once again for us today. All week long, we've had pretty nice temperatures in the 60s to lower 70s for us today. And now we got some clouds which are rolling in. And our next little storm system week is going to really push through late tonight into tomorrow. Great shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Temperature is still pretty good. Most of us upper 50s to near 60 degrees, but we do have those clouds increasing, and you can see rain even popping up across southeastern parts of Kansas. A lot of this is not reaching the ground, but it will start to increase a bit as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. This main system, at least a stronger part of it, is out across central Kansas down through central parts of Oklahoma, and that's where the rain is reaching the ground at this time. The jet stream is way up in southern parts of Canada, so this little weak wave, it's a cutoff low. It's cut off from the flow of the jet, so it just can't get a whole bunch of energy. That's why it doesn't have a whole bunch of moisture with it. So it's a weak wave, but it will change our weather up as we go into the next couple days, cooling us down as well. But rain increasing. Most of it is going to stay to our west tonight, but our lower level humidity is pretty low right now, so a lot of these showers on the leading edge aren't even reaching the ground. But I do think we'll get some hit and miss light showers as we get into late tonight and especially into tomorrow morning. You can see a few hit and miss showers popping up in the morning, and then again, these are going to be very light, very scattered, not widespread by any means. Here's 9:30 in the morning. Still some hit and miss showers out there in the early afternoon. Then most of this rotates out by the time we head into the evening hours. We may even see a little bit of sunshine late in the day. 46 to start, 50 by noon, high temp of 54 during the afternoon hours. We clear out tomorrow night, cold as we dip back into the mid-30s, but Saturday looks great. Sunny skies, high temps right around 60 degrees during the afternoon. That's what we're going to see even on Sunday as well. Rainfall with this system, again, extremely light, maybe a few hundredths of an inch, maybe some areas pick up a tenth of an inch, but not much at all with this next storm system. But it is going to cool down. 54 tomorrow, 59 on Saturday, 61 on Sunday. So the weekend's great. Up to 67, and then by Tuesday, and then up near 70 by Wednesday and Thursday. But we do have this next storm system we got to look at next week. We're going to start to get the clouds increasing Tuesday, some showers, maybe even a random thunderstorm Wednesday, and then by Thursday, we'll get showers and thunderstorms, and some of those may be strong to severe. So we got to keep our eyes on that as we go into next week. All right, March forecast. This is based off my pattern that I found back in 1999 in college, and I've been working on it ever since. But we're on a short cycle this year. It's 46 days. That means what we saw 46 days ago, that system's repeating. So we're on the fourth cycle. We're in severe weather season until June 10th. And we do have 3 to 4 shots for thunderstorms this month, but some of those could be strong, maybe even severe. So here's next week, which we just talked about. So I'm going to put a low threat on Thursday, and then we do cool down next Friday and Saturday and have some rain, which works in on Saturday. Also, daylight saving time begins as we work into the following weekend. So we're here in about 10 days. And then it starts off cool, but we do warm up St. Patrick's Day. Thunderstorms. Again, we're going to have a low shot that some of those could be strong to severe. That would be the same system if you go back 46 days ago. If you remember the tornado warnings on January 30th on that Saturday, it's that system repeating. Behind it, we cool down on Monday and Tuesday, the 22nd and 3rd. We'll get mild again, maybe a few thunderstorms on that Wednesday and Thursday, and then much colder as we head into the weekend of the 27th. So we're going to get a freeze on that weekend. As we begin the month of April, we have severe weather chances on the very last day of March. So it gets kind of active, Jordan, over the next several weeks.
Yeah, this weekend I'm going to get our family storm shelter ready. It's that time of year.
There you go. That's a good idea. Yeah. Good planning.
Doug Eddy, thank you so much. All right, coming up in sports is championship night for the Class 5 District 12 girls tournament going on in Carl Junction. Plus, Pitt State softball preparing for its first home game since 2019. Jacob Leonard has that story and more next.
Tonight is championship night for the Class 5 District 12 Girls Tournament in Missouri. It's also a rivalry game. Carl Junction is at home this evening against Webb City. Now, the winner of this one moves on to the state bracket. CJ aiming for its 6th straight district title. Early on, here's JD Duda off to Sierra Kimbrough. She sinks the 3. Other end, Destiny Berge spinning, knocks it down. Berge, 35 tonight. Seconds left in the second quarter. Duda drives, gets the jumper off. Webb City giving CJ all they can handle tonight. Cards up 5 at the break. Carl Junction now. Allie Shorter, top of the key for 3. This one features a late Carl Junction comeback. The Bulldogs squeak by CJ 55-52. They're district champs for the 6th straight season.
I'm so excited right now. It's insane. It shows that we can work really hard together and just keep our pressure going. We're really young, so we're just going to keep building and building until we're at our peak. We're just going to keep going and playing hard and playing our game.
The McCallie girls are headed to the state quarterfinals. McCallie beat Montrose 70-45 on Wednesday night in the sectional round of the Class 1 bracket. Now in that one, Kennedy Dury scored a game-high 31 points, while her teammate Kaylee Teeter added 22. Now, the Warriors hit the road to face Walnut Grove on Saturday, with the winner of that one moving on to the Final Four. Saturday will be McCallie's first appearance in the state quarterfinals since 2002.
They're picking it up at the right time. We've been a little bit inconsistent this year, in the early parts of the season, but I think that towards the end of the year now we're starting to play like we know how to play, and we feel good about ourselves going into this game.
We're starting to trust each other a lot better than what we have in the season, and it's really improving. I think that we were just applying that pressure and pushing in transition, and I think it's working.
The Pitt State softball team has been on the road for its first 8 games of the season. Saturday, the Gorillas will finally get to play at home, something they've been waiting for quite some time. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas have not played at home since April 27th, 2019.
There's no place I would rather be. My home field is my favorite place to be, so I think we're stoked, even more excited than we were for opening day, I think.
Attack it! Attack it! Game speed here.
The Gorillas will host Minnesota Duluth on Saturday, ending a 679-day wait since they last played in Pittsburgh.
Playing in front of your home crowd, especially at a place like Pitt State, there's really nothing like it, and we want to showcase everyone around here what we're capable of.
Pitt State has just a really great home atmosphere, so that's definitely going to help us as well.
Oh, good catch! Yes, Kylie!
Pitt State is 3-5 through their first 8 games, but they feel close to finding their groove.
Once we get our offense going, people are going to be like, wow, this team can really, really hit.
All right, let's go, Yellow, let's go!
Moving runners over and just getting the small jobs done so we can, get that run across, and not everybody has to hit a home run to get the job done.
Need you on here, Taylor, need you on!
The long ball is kind of what we've been known for in my first couple years, but this year I think we can do a better job of just ground balls to the infield, double. So I think just play hard, play with a lot of passion, and I think that we're on our way to doing so.
Pitt State will play Minnesota Duluth on Saturday at 12:30 before facing Rockhurst at 3. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
The issue of transgender athletes in school sports is making its way into legislatures across the country. Many states are pushing to ban female trans students from competing against their cisgender counterparts. Fox News correspondent Ashley Strohmeyer has the reasons. A growing number of lawmakers say female trans kids have no place on a public school team.
More than 20 states are trying to ban transgender girls from competing in school sports. In Mississippi, House officials overwhelmingly passed a bill Wednesday ruling trans students can't play on girls' or women's teams at any of the state's schools or universities. Proponents say a biological man who transitions into a female will automatically have an advantage in women's sports because of their chemical and physical composition.
Policymakers are giving in to an ideology that simply ignores biological reality and denies equal opportunities to women.
The issue even made its way into former President Trump's speech at last week's CPAC.
Young girls and women are incensed that they are now being forced to compete against those who are biological males.
But But according to the Associated Press, a large number of lawmakers are having difficulty proving transgender athletes are a cause for concern. The AP says when supporters did provide evidence, many used the same example, citing a pair of female transgender runners in Connecticut who years ago won more than a dozen championship titles. Trans activists say critics are just trying to make a mountain out of a molehill.
It's a lot of fear mongering, sort of almost mob mentality to go after this teeny tiny group of kids who certainly pose no threat to anyone whatsoever.
Many high schools and colleges don't collect data on trans athlete participation. So far, at least 19 states have full inclusion policies allowing any transgender student to play on a school team. Ashley Strohmeyer, Fox News.
Coming up, going to check out this week's list of new movies now available on DVD and on demand. Big week for new releases this week, from a comedic sequel to animated action and more. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
We are going back to America.
It's time for the long-awaited, highly anticipated return of Prince Akeem in Coming to America. The Eddie Murphy-led sequel to the 1988 comedy classic will be on Amazon Prime. The story follows the prince returning to America to meet his long-lost son. Arsenio Hall and James Earl Jones also reprise their roles. Tracy Morgan and Leslie Jones are among new cast members.
My girl Raya and I are going to fix the world.
Disney Plus adds the animated adventure Raya and the Last Dragon, about a lone warrior tracking down a legendary last dragon to save her world. Its star-studded voice cast includes Kelly Marie Tran and Awkwafina.
I used to complain that every day felt the same.
Hulu has the action of Boss Level, with Frank Grillo playing a former Special Forces agent stuck in a time loop until he learns of the epic showdown which could break him out. Mel Gibson, Naomi Watts, and Ken Jeong co-star.
Whoa, stop! Don't come any closer.
This week's theatrical release is the sci-fi thriller Chaos Walking with Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland. About a planet where all women disappeared, men's thoughts can be seen, and there are plenty of secrets to uncover.
I love my life.
And SpongeBob movie Sponge on the Run has the Bikini Bottom group on a rescue mission when Gary goes missing. Cameos include Awkwafina, Snoop Dogg, Tiffany Haddish, and Keanu Reeves.
Call me Sage.
SpongeBob's Adventure is available to rent in digital stores and streaming on the new platform Paramount+. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. Going to leave you with video of a newborn Okapi calf at the Chester Zoo in northwestern England. Cute guy. Be safe. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.